Heroes Update. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Well, there's a news update, so that has to be good, right? Calling all heroes. We've done an excellent wave of card balance updates. Our goal is to have a wide variety of powerful cards and fun strategies in every class. To achieve this, we study win rates and use rates for cards, heroes, and classes at different levels of play. We also monitor player feedback. This time, we first weakened a few strategies that have gotten too strong. Then we made a lot of other cards stronger that could help bring out some cool new deck types. Have fun exploring! Any cards that have gotten weaker have the recycle values temporarily increased to match the crafting costs. This means you can recycle a weakened card and craft something else of the same rarity if you wish. Deep Sea Garg is now healthier and now has 8 health. Overstuffed Zombie is now overall better with 4 cost, with being a 4 cost 4/4 instead of a 4 cost 3/5. And I guess that makes sense because like it regains more health when it destroys a plant, so. And Mad Chemist is actually now healthier, with 1 more health. This will actually help it stay alive longer, but I mean, conjuring a random trick, that's not the greatest of powers. Trick or Treater is now better, having gained the Gravestone ability. This will help it stay alive to tricks, so it can conjure some treats. Duckstash is now stronger, just to get that little bit more damage. I mean, I guess, if you increase its damage, then it's more likely that it'll do damage so it can conjure more mustaches, so that's pretty strong. And Neutron Imp is now a 1 cost 2/2. It's only 2 damage for face, or for not face, I guess, but I don't know what you're gonna combine that with to make it strong. I mean, well, this very well could be the new meta, and I'm just bad. Anyway, Interdimensional Zombie is now overall better. It's a 1 cost 2/2 now. So, I'm not gonna classify that as better, per se, because, like, it won't survive for as long. Brainy gives some aggressive options with a new pair of 2 strength zombies for 1 cost, especially since they're both science cards. Although Interdimensional Zombie is less resilient, he now hits twice as hard before he transforms. But he's not gonna survive for as long. I'm not sure how good that's gonna be. Frankentar is now a 5/7, Gargantuar Throwing Imp is now a 2/2, Hippity Hoppity Gargantuar is now a 6/5. Man, they really want to push Gargantuar decks to get, like, stronger, huh? Disconaut is finally getting nerfed because it was so strong. All cards with 3 strength or less would just hit for face and not charge the block meter at all. Overpowered. And Valkyrie is now also getting nerfed, being 4 costs now. This will finally slow down the friggin' OTK Valkyrie. Disconaut has been dancing up a storm of high win rates. In particular, Disconaut was giving Flamenco Zombie and or Binary Stars too much unstoppable damage. This change around Disconaut has a little more challenge to build around. Valkyrie has been one of the best 1-turn win combo cards in the game for a long time. It also has been undercast for its stats, and been played as a normal attacker. Now it still sings impressive arias in both roles, just not quite as quickly. And thank Frog for that. Valkyrie decks were like destroying all of my hopes and dreams. It was terrible. Chum Champion is now stronger, with being a 5 cost 4/4 instead of a 5 cost 3/4. I mean, sure you buffed it, but it's also Chum Champion, so And they buffed Turquoise Skull, but no one cares except all those sun-stealing trolls on the internet. And Cryo Yeti is also better, gaining the Gravestone ability and freezes the plant when it's revealed. I mean, I'm not good at, like, strategy, but I've been told this is very strong now, so, you know. Unthawed Viking is now healthier, being a 4 cost 4/4 instead of a 4 cost 4/3. I guess zombie freeze decks are gonna become a thing now. Whee! And Captain Flameflace is now better, gaining the Gravestone ability. Alright, so, freeze pirate decks. It's gonna happen. This is the new meta. I don't actually know, I'm not good at this game. Tomb Raider Zombie is now stronger with 1 more attack. I mean, I guess it's useful because its ability activates when it hits hero, so, you know, more gravestones. Barrel of Barrels now uses 2 brains instead of 1, but it can also conjure Rocket Science and Final Mission. I think that's a fair trade-off, because Final Mission and Rocket Science are 2 very strong cards, so it makes sense. Plus, it was really overpowered before. Alright, Barrel of Barrels has been uncorking a nasty deadly effect, while costing just 1 and giving you a card back. This is too often barreled over high sun cost plants who rely on high health to survive. Now Barrel of Barrels can conjure new tricks that are more explosive than a barrel of monkeys, but is less efficient overall. Yep, this makes perfect sense. No argument here. Anyway, moving on to plants, starting with the Guardian class. Marine Bean is now different and overall better. When played, this gets +1/+1 for each other amphibious plant. This is so much better. Its other ability, it have like a maximum of 6 attack, 4 health, and that you can't even play it in water. This is much better. And Mirror Nut is now healthier, having 8 health instead of 7. I mean, I don't have much experience with net decks, so I don't really have anything to say. Moving on to the Gabloom class, which has a lot of balance updates. Transfiguration is now stronger, having 1 more attack. This makes it a 4-cost 4/7, which that's very strong stats, but when it's damaged it will transform into a random plant. But its ability is very strong too, so I think it's gonna become like more and more used now. Atomic Pomegranate is now stronger, having 1 more attack. I still don't think this is gonna make it like a very often used card, but it'll have more attack now, whatever. Strawberryan is now receiving 2 different nerfs. One that it has 1 less health, which means it can be taken out with a bungee plumber now. And his ability only hits lanes next door instead of his own lane, making him not actually able to defend himself, like except with his neutral attack. But that'll really put a dent in berry decks. Sergeant Strongberry now has 1 less health, which means he can be taken out with the Lightning Bolt super, which a lot of the crazy class heroes have. And Shelf Mushroom is now a 2-cost 2/2, which that's fair. It's a 2-cost 2/2 plus it has an extra ability. That's pretty fair. And finally, Fireweed has 1 less health, which means it can also be bungee plumbered. And this used to be a very strong card. A 2-cost 3/3 when played on heights, and like it also creates an environment when you play it on the ground. It's such a great control card. It needed a nerf, honestly. Strawberryan has been very powerful, especially since his ability defended his own lane, keeping itself alive. These changes reduce Berry's health to balance their explosive offense. Fireweed's raw power and flexibility have sprouted too high in a win rate, leading to this health reduction. Lowering these health values can also help certain zombie decks that have found it hard to survive fast Kabloom attacks. This is basically the consensus of all the Kabloom updates, other than now Transfiguration, but might be used a little more now. Moving on to the Mega Grow class, where the only change they decided to do was Typical Beanstalk is now different and overall better. It's a 3-cost 3/3, when played next to a leafy plant, conjure a leafy card. I don't understand why they felt they need to do this. Who uses Typical Beanstalk or whatever? I'm sure it'll make some kind of difference. Moving on to the Smarty class, Bog of Enlightenment now uses less sun. It's 2 costs instead of 3, and Planet of the Grapes now uses more sun, being 3 costs instead of 2. This Planet of the Grapes was such a strong card, especially combined with Astro Shroom and Admiral Navy Bean, because like it would just throw an infinite loop of drawing cards and hitting for face. So this is very needed, very much balanced now. Planet of the Grapes has had a lot of fun applications, but it could be frustratingly fast to draw a lot of cards with Astro Shroom and Admiral Navy Bean. This change brings those combos a little bit back to Planet Earth. Now with Bog being less expensive and Marine Bean being like better, amphibious decks could be coming back a little bit. I can't imagine they would do too strong, but they could be like mildly viable. And for moving on to the Solar class, Laser Beam is now stronger and healthier, having 1 more attack and health. Now, this is probably going to become a pretty competitive card now. It has 5 attack, which takes out like a fourth of the opponent's health. That's a very strong attack power. And combined with Picanolith, giving it 7 attack strike through, I can see that becoming very deadly. Briar Rose finally getting the nerf it deserved, becoming 5 costs instead of 4. Now, Flower Ducks are finally going to slow down a little bit and stop being so overpowered. Combined with the Solar Winds nerf, now being 3 costs. The thing with Briar Rose and Solar Winds, it was put together, they formed a very strong combo. Solar Winds on 2, and producing a Sunflower, giving you 4 sun, and you can deploy the Briar Rose on turn 3. And finally, Sunflower Seed is now overall weaker, being a 2-2 instead of a 3-1, giving it like less aggression, and Sunflower Seed is just really a support card in flower decks, so it's just continuing to nerf flowers. Briar Rose has blossomed into one of the most feared plants in the game, ever since the cost dropped from 6 to 4. I wasn't around when it was 6 cost, but 6 seems like an alright cost to me. 5 is pretty good too, though. After many seasons of dominance, it is time for the bloom to come off the rose, making her and the strongest flower enablers a bit slower. These enablers have also been very powerful in decks that ramp up on their sun to make high sun cost plays early on. These cards are still quite strong, just slightly slower. This will also help some zombie strategies that had an especially thorny time on this rose. And of course, rate the store in the app after every play, and bye!